That was one of my biggest problems, was I was so convinced that I can do this by myself. I don't need anybody, I don't need any help, I don't care about support, I'll do it myself, until I realized like that will only take you so far.
How many vacations have you taken so far?
I think I'm on number, what is this, 2 or 3?
You know that like everybody has that employee in their business that like they come and they go all the time, but somehow they always find their way back.
That'd be me.
Shouldn't be a thing.
Shouldn't be a thing, but
I'm
we
just
have
that
that.
special.
We have that thing. Yeah. So 3 vacations so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
That just proved to me that I bring some serious value.
Yeah. What was the first vacation? What, you were gonna become like a barber or something?
A barber?
Was that you? No, that was someone else.
No,
that was some other dipshit.
Not me. I wanted to go off and do my own thing.
Oh, you wanted to be an insurance salesperson.
I threw that in
Life
the mix
insurance.
as well. Yeah, and I realized after getting into the sales in this industry, I realized I would have gotten my ass kicked in that industry. So definitely a good call not to go there. Not yet, at least.
Yeah. What was the other time? You were just sick of window tinting.
No, the most recent time I wanted to go off on my own.
That's right.
And experience what it was like.
And see how easy it was.
It was crazy because in my head I was going to make more money and I was going to work on my own time. In reality, what actually happened was I worked 24/7 on call pretty much, and I made way less money. The freedom was cool, but it's not that cool when you're sitting at home not making any money.
Yeah.
So definitely a taste of reality on that one for sure.
How many jobs were you doing?
Woo! On like a good week, maybe like 3.
How much did you charge for removals?
So, depending on how badly I want the job, sometimes I got them for free. To be 100% honest with you, I needed the job, and there was multiple times where I shot myself in the foot. And honestly, there was one job specifically. It was a Lexus IS 250, and that job took me 9 hours to do, and I charged them $350. Yeah, just scraping away. Had to pull the deck lid, the back seats, all of it. So.
Oh my Lord.
Is that why you need a mentor?
Oh, God, yeah. I feel like the most important part, honestly, kind of started with me, with just wanting to be coachable. And that was really the biggest thing. I was super hard-headed. I had a lot of ambition. I wanted to work hard. I just didn't really know how I was going to get to the life I wanted to get to. Not only that, I had no sense of direction, no sense of urgency, and no guidance. So it was kind of just like this ball of ambition that really wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
Maybe like a burnout where you're just sitting there, just
Spinning
you're
your
working
wheels.
hard. Yeah, you're working hard, but you're really not going anywhere.
But a lot of people do that because, 1, they don't hire a mentor. 2, they're taking advice from the wrong people.
Absolutely.
Or 3, they just, it will end at some point. But then they turn 65, they can barely walk, and, just a lot of other things. So, okay.
This is a little bit off topic. I just wanted to bring this up though.
Yeah.
Just kind of listening to you guys and how you guys run your business and seeing it firsthand, I think the biggest issue that I see is that the business owner tries too hard to be in control of everything and doesn't want to step away and, delegate tasks rather than, delegating the task and having, okay, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for this.
Right.
They want to have their hand in the cookie jar in every way possible. And I understand that because it's your business, it's your baby. I understand that. But if you truly want to grow, you got to be able to let that go and, hire on people who are better than you.
Yeah.
That's why you brought me on.
Yeah, correct. But that's the thing. I want you to be better than me. I do. That means I did my job. I say it all the time. The mentee is supposed to beat the mentor. Exactly. If not, am I doing my job? No. So that brings me to this. And I just lost my train of thought. I was going to ask you a really good question. Oh, what was it?
So you came back after you got your head out of your ass.
Yeah, essentially. That's kind of what it took.
It wasn't essentially. I called you.
Well, okay. The first time I was working at another company, that was...
Is this after you had your come to Jesus moment, or like...
This was the first time I had left, because you guys had asked me, what do you want? And I said, I want to make the most amount of money that I can, and I want to learn as much as I can. And I was just so hell-bent on making the most amount of money that I could, even though I wasn't really bringing any value besides putting on window tint. And I went and worked for another shop. Ryan called me about 2 weeks later. He's like, how's it treating you? Is the grass greener on the other side? I said, absolutely not. And I came back. I can easily say my biggest issue with myself was not being coachable, and honestly, a lot of it was just being selfish. Really, I wanted to make all the money that I could by myself. I didn't want to help anybody else out until I realized, like, if you really want to grow, you have to add value. You have to help others, and you have to do more if you want more, essentially.
Right.
And that's my biggest learning lesson, honestly, so far this year. And hopefully I learn a lot more, because every single day I feel like, I know what I know, and I'm good, but really every single day I'm humbled and realizing, like, I actually don't know as much as I thought. So my biggest intention is just to be 1% better than I was yesterday.
Yeah. Do you miss tinting windows?
No. I mean, window tinting for fun, like, helping somebody out if they're struggling, training somebody.
Right.
That's a little bit different story, because I do like teaching. But installing for a living, no. It's just, I don't know if this is going to make it in the cut, but I just feel like there's easier ways to make money than to install window tint.
Yeah.
I mean,
you remember whenever you said all the time, I just want to be the best installer that there is. Remember
I
that?
do remember that.
Yeah.
And what the craziest thing is I remember telling Ryan one time, one day I'm going to be a better window tinter than you. And he said, you already are. And I was just like, it kind of threw me for a loop, and I was just like, what do you mean? He's like, you are a better installer than me. He's like, but what do you want? Do you want to be the best installer, or do you want to make the most amount of money? And when he said that, that's genuinely something I still think about to this day, which I don't care about.
You're going to make more people hate me.
I mean, the truth is always going to ruffle some feathers, so.
Right.
But yeah, that's really it. I mean, when I had asked you, about that, like, I want to be the best installer or whatever, you said, you know who the best installer is? Some guy probably tinting out of his garage who puts out the cleanest tint jobs and everything. But what does that matter if he's sitting in an empty bay with no cars to tint?
Correct.
And that's what made me, it really shifted my thinking into, okay, well, the sales then is, you don't want to say one's more important than the other, but the sales is more important.
It is.
Because those guys, the install guys, will never have jobs to do if I can't do my job properly and get, working.
Yeah, but see, like I tell people all the time, you have to figure out what you want, and you have to align yourself with what's going to get you there.
Absolutely.
So if you were still tinting out of the back of that ugly ass little G35 you used to have, would you be getting to where you want to go?
Absolutely not.
But with sales, can you get to where you want to go?
Oh, absolutely.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So you were in the wrong vehicle.
In the wrong vehicle?
The wrong vehicle. So,
and I didn't realize how much, like, I always complained about getting, the bad customers and the cheap customers, and that's because that's how I shop myself. I was a price shopper. I just want the cheapest price. Until I realized, like, time after time, when you buy cheap stuff, you get a cheap product, and then you're going to have to buy again. Yeah. So by you trying to save money, you actually cost yourself more money, and that's what leads me to believe that there's a difference between price and cost.
Yeah.
The price may be higher going with somebody like us, but if you're talking about cost, the length over time, you'll spend more money with the competition, having to consistently retint your vehicle.
And then there will be some kid sweating outside in the back of the car, pulling out the rear deck, removing window tint for 9 hours, and only charging $350.
I actually tinted a Q60, the rear half of a Q60, just doubled up the film in a McDonald's parking lot. No heat gun, nothing. Had to use the torch, and it was.
But you were willing to do whatever it takes.
Still to this day,
most people aren't even willing to do that.
I mean, yesterday I was out here putting business cards on all the cars out there that had no window tint. Yeah. I'll do whatever it takes. Stay late, come in early, do more, do less.
Right.
But is that a lesson for a business owner, like to never give up on people either?
Yeah, you can never give up on people. I never gave up on you because I would always ask the guys, like, you guys talk to Sean? They're like, yeah. I was like, what's going on? They're like, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
I was well, one day he'll come trickling back in with his tail between his legs.
You had this company had every reason not to have faith in me.
Right.
And for some reason, they saw something in me and invested into me. And I would definitely say from this time 1 year ago to right now, I'm a completely different person.
But that's our job. That's the part that people miss.
When you guys said, we aren't in the window tint business, we're in the building people business.
Right.
And I was so hard-headed back then that I truly couldn't wrap my head around what that meant.
Right.
I was so I want to make money, But you can't, the money will naturally come when you build the skills, that
Right.
it will attract the money. And that was what I had completely wrong. I wanted to make the money and then learn the skills.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works.
So if you were to have a conversation right now with somebody that was doing the same thing that you were doing, what would you tell them right now?
Well, if they were as hard-headed as I was, I'd just pat them on the back and say, good luck. That's it. That's really it. I mean, when you can give all the right advice to somebody, and if they just choose not to accept it, I mean,
Right.
you can't help them. You couldn't have helped me back then. Nobody
Right.
could have helped me because I didn't want the help. I didn't
Right.
see that I was doing anything wrong. And that's really the biggest thing, is if you don't think that you're doing anything wrong, you'll never fix anything.
Right.
Until I realized, I was just driving home one night and I just kind of realized, like, what am I doing? Like, what am I actually
Right.
doing? Like,
Right.
I'm working hard, working long hours, but where is this going to take me? Like, I'm just working hard. Don't have a plan. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just working hard. And that's what kind of made me realize, like, the only people that thought similar to me were you guys. And this is the company that I passed on, a couple times. And that, I don't want to say it's a regret, because
Right.
I obviously learned from it,
Right.
but it's definitely one of my biggest learning lessons so far.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing now every
Have a
day
team.
besides
Have a
tinting?
team of people.
Huh?
Always have a team of people to back you. That's so important. You can't do it alone.
Right.
Definitely. And that was one of my biggest problems, was I was so convinced that I can do this by myself. I don't need anybody. I don't need any help. I don't care about support. I'll do it myself, until I realized, like, that will only take you so far. I can't speak for everybody, but I do have goals of, owning multiple houses, of owning exotic cars. And I realized tinting windows is not going to get me there. Not anywhere
Right.
close.
Right. So what are you doing now every day? What do you do for Tint 360?
I try to add value in any way that I can.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, your job title. What are you doing now?
Sales.
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 So how's that going?
A lot better. I mean,
Yeah.
it was definitely, I will say it's one of the hardest things in the beginning, just because you have no idea what you're doing, and can definitely make you question what you're doing.
Right.
But I realized if you can stay in it long enough and get over that really crappy part in the beginning, it'll be worth it.
How long did you do window tint for before going to sales?
About a little over 4 years.
So 4 years of window tinting. When we found you, you were
Maybe
like 2 years in,
Yeah.
right? And then you came and worked for us. Now you were 4 years in, but now you don't tint windows anymore. Okay. So, what would you rather do every day? Tint windows or sales?
Sales.
Sales. Okay.
I get to go home every single day. I don't sweat. I'm not dirty anymore.
Right.
You don't cap yourself. You can continue to sell.
And that's really the biggest thing, is I realize with sales, it's the only industry where if you're short on a payment, you're short on
Yeah.
anything, just work harder and stay
Right.
longer,
Yeah.
put in more hours, and you will.
Yeah,
make
there's
more
no
money.
cap. You can make as much money as
Exactly.
you want.
It doesn't matter if you're the best window tint installer. Nobody's going to pay a window tint installer $80 an hour. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this, to me, is like, it fits my work ethic way better, knowing, like, I'll do whatever it takes. Well, you can only tint so many cars and bring value that way,
Right.
before you need to shift into something else, and that's
Right.
why sales works out the best for me.
Right, but the other cool thing for you is too, like, when you're a window tinter and you're getting paid commission, you only get paid for tinting that vehicle, right? For you, let's say you leave here and you go to a car show, because you're younger, you go to car shows and stuff. Can you make money while you're at that car show?
No, not.
Yeah, you can.
Not
As a
as a
salesperson?
salesman,
Yeah.
yes. As a window tinter, no.
Yeah.
If I'm not actively tinting, I'm not making any money. But as a salesman, I just talk to more people, build that network,
Correct.
and just plant those seeds everywhere,
Right.
water them, and they'll
Right.
come to life.
So you can agree that as a salesperson, the opportunity to make more money is always there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like endless,
Right.
endless.
Right.
And you can duplicate yourself and build a sales team underneath you
and
get
that's-
paid
That's really it.
residuals off of their
Mhm.
efforts.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like, to me, that's like the ultimate way of knowing what you're doing. If
Right.
you can duplicate
Duplicate
and
people.
train people to do exactly what you do.
Yeah.
And hopefully better than I can do.
Right.
If that's the goal, if I can make salesmen who are better than me,
Yeah.
that goes to show that I can do it. And
Right.
that's kind of where I was with the window tint. When you guys tossed me in to do the training, once I realized, like, I can train these guys and they can actually leave tinting windows, that was proof to me that I'm a good window tinter then.
Right.
And then, I always like to consistently challenge myself. So window tint, not to piss anybody off, but window tint doesn't seem hard anymore to me.
Right.
It seems just more like just repetition, just the same thing over and over
Yeah.
and over and over
Yeah.
again. When it comes to sales, you never know who you're going to talk to.
Right.
It's always something different.
always
Every
harder.
single call. Yep.
Yeah.
You'll deal with, the people that are super easy and just, they want to get it done right now. They don't care about price. You also deal with the people that, they want the $100 tint jobs. And then it's your job to inform them, why you shouldn't go with a $100 tint job, but also you don't want to fight them on that if that's solely what you want to do.